As you know, we have so many amazing athletes in Iran with a good potential to be top 3 in Mr. Olympia. But the problem is they can't come to the United States. My question is how they can be recognized by the big companies to get a sponsorship and support.
Listen, we know sports typically transcends politics. We accept all nationalities, races, religions for sport. But when you start getting into politics and policies, it's not a fair playing field for a lot of people, not just the Iranians. But because you're not necessarily free to go wherever you want, whenever you want, some of these events take place, and it does take political clearance from the government. The United States and Iran have had some problems over the years. The United States and Russia has had problems. Sometimes you have to find a way, right? And for the athletes, sometimes it's impossible. But that doesn't mean you give up on your hope or your dream. You know, you train with the opportunity to potentially compete against the best in the world. Meanwhile, you may never have that opportunity, but you can be the best you can be, right, regardless of whether or not you're standing on the world's biggest stage. For example, Hadi Choopan has made it from Iran to the Mr. Olympia for the past 2 years. Yes. Amazingly, he's one of the few. We know Iran is a very strong powerhouse in bodybuilding, in soccer, in wrestling, in physique, coming on very strong. But there's a lot of athletes that aren't able to participate because they don't have the right connections. Yes. That doesn't mean they should stop. Keep trying, keep training, keep hope alive. And maybe they get the opportunities that are presented. Right now we know that Hadi is one of the best bodybuilders on the planet. But he was that before he arrived. You're right. He came into the Olympia and right away punched him in the mouth. He came back and literally did it again. But even with all that said, he's had to climb a higher mountain because he has all these other worries about just getting into the country without the stress and pressure of already worrying about standing next to Brandon Curry and William Bonac and the other bodybuilders. It's got to be disheartening for some of the athletes over there. Yes. I don't know if everyone has a strong enough mindset to train for things they can't really see. Maybe it'll never happen. But I started bodybuilding to be the best in the world. I wasn't worrying about politics. I was short. I was small. I was never supposed to be the best in the world. So, yeah, because I'm here in America, maybe the opportunities are better for me because I have the exposure. Definitely. I have the freedom to travel around. But if I was in Iran and I was Hadi Choopan, yeah, I would train for the day, train for the opportunity, and wait for my time to come. And when it came, he arrived. He opened the door for every Iranian over there thinking, you know what, if I'm ready and I get a shot, maybe I could be the next Hadi Choopan. So right now, hope is alive. We don't control what the governments are going to do, and we can't really get involved with the government and the politics because we're bodybuilders. We're physique guys. You're right. Work on what you have and wait for your time. In the meantime, you have to kind of watch with envy some other guys that are getting opportunities that maybe an Iranian athlete could get if he was here in America. But I do know that, for example, Hadi Choopan was 3rd and 4th in the Mr. Olympia. He got more love, more support, more recognition from his countrymen than our Mr. Olympia would get right here in America. So it's much more appreciated by the country. You see, America, there's so many things we have going on that a Mr. Olympia winner is just another champion. It's not all that special. Big Ramy is from Egypt. He went home like on a chariot. He had thousands of people waiting for him. They celebrated for a week straight. Whereas when our Mr. Olympia wins, they don't even make the local news. So it's a double-edged sword for when you are trying to go after being the best in the world. You don't always have to be officially recognized as the best in the world to be the best in your country. And if your country is behind you and the people see what you're able to do, maybe one day the door opens. Right. But you have to be ready. You have to be ready. And Iran represented in the form of Hadi Choopan. Hats off to him.
Thank you. Thank you so much.